excited to share the news with you that I finally got my PMP certification done.
Thanks to EduHubSpot.com and Varun's mentorship.
The material provided by EduHubSpot is fantastic and the mentoring is phenomenal.
I could not accomplish this feat without the outstanding mentorship of Varun.
I would like to thank EduHubSpot for all the support that was given to me in this journey.
If you're looking to be certified just like me, EduHubSpot is your go-to place.
Thank you, EduHubSpot, for helping me become a PMI Certified professional.
I want to give credit to my success to the EduHubSpot team.
Carrie, congratulations for passing the PMP exam. I'm so happy for you, Carrie. Let me be very honest with you. I'm not surprised that you passed the PMP exam. I was 200% sure you will pass, but I'm very, very happy for you, Carrie. How's your feeling right now?
Thank you, Gotham. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I'm relieved. I feel like the future is ahead of me, right?
Oh, that's great. That's a cool feeling. You know what? I'm going to start with a question. After you saw, congratulations, you have successfully passed this PMP certification, that message on your screen, what was your reaction?
Oh, I was in a testing center and I just was like freaking out quietly, right? And I was just dancing around. I got up and I was jumping. And then I sat down again because I didn't want to disrupt other people. And when I came out, the invigilators were like, woohoo!
Someone came and stopped you. Hey, ma'am, cool down your over-excited.
Yeah, cool it, lady. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. So happy, Carrie. First of all, thank you so much for accepting for doing this interview. Let me give you a reasoning why I have requested you to do an interview. The reason is before you joined EduHubSpot, you had a tight deadline. This means you already booked for the exam and you told me, Gautam, within this month, I want to get the PMP certification done. I strongly believe when you're sharing your experience on your preparation process, it will help any PMP aspirants, Carrie. So that's the reason I requested you to accept for this interview, and thanks for accepting this.
You're welcome.
Good. So let's get started. The first question I have is, please share your professional background. What do you do, actually?
So right now my career is at a university. I'm at Athabasca University, which is Canada's online university, and I coordinate the accessibility services and accommodations department there. And most of the work that I do there is around accommodations, equity, accessibility for students with disabilities. And then I also have a lot of volunteer work on the side on various committees. I'm helping to build a accessible standard for Canada, and other boards as well. So I seem to be jumping around everywhere doing a lot of things. And this is why PMP was important to me, because I'm so involved in many different areas. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah, that's fine. And myself too, personally, I also have a disability. I'm legally blind. I have 4% useful vision. And so for me, it was important to always keep developing myself so that I can contribute effectively to my job and to the community. Yeah.
That's really inspiring. And, to be honest, I always have a strong respect to the people who are doing volunteer work. And trust me, your success story will be inspiring for many people who procrastinate things. Good. Thanks for sharing this. And what made you to choose PMP as your next career upskilling goal, Carrie?
Well, in my roles in the community, but also at work, I'm asked to either work on projects or run the projects. And I had idea of, do stakeholder this, you need a schedule, you need a budget and put it together. But I needed a more specific expertise. I wanted the process. And so I was seeking that knowledge and expertise on the different life cycles and how to approach that and at what stage. And so that was one reason. And the second reason, of course, was for professional development and possibly income supplement, right? So.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I just loved your answer. That should be our goal. The reason for doing PMP should be, we have to apply the knowledge we gained in practice. We have to contribute to our community, PM community, and glad that's your goal as well. And how did you study for your PMP exam? What was the materials you used, and can you share on those lines something?
I can, and I'll do a quick history because this has been a bit of a journey since 2021. So I took an 8-month PMP certificate, mostly covering predictive, with one chapter being agile. And then, of course, the year after that, PMI changed their exams and the exam content outlines for many of their certifications. So I needed to upgrade. So signed up for non-demand thing. It was a bunch of reading. That wasn't going to work for me and my timing. And so I got a leave from work, and I asked one of my classmates from 2021, because I knew he was taking the tests, and he told me his story. He pointed me to EduHubSpot, and he said, you got to do it here. They have boot camp. They can help you compress the time. And because I had such a strict time limit of 2 months, not even, I needed to have personal interaction. I needed to ask questions, explain my situation. It had to also be accessible because of the technology I use because of my disability. So there was all these factors that were into it. And so I found EduHubSpot and just loved it. It changed everything. Yeah.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. And the next question I have is, while you're studying for the PMP exam, what topics did you find most difficult to understand?
I found hybrid and agile most difficult to understand, and determining the hybrid complexities that would make a project a hybrid compared to predictive, which is what my 8-month certificate was in, right? So I really needed to constantly flip and remind myself, these are the things. Is scope defined? Is schedule impacted? How do you estimate when you don't have everything, but you're still rolling out, the most value of your product? And so it was really a flip of my thinking, and also the self-organizing piece and of an agile team. When I was used to being the project manager and approving things, it was so it was very good for me, but it was also very challenging for me to learn and understand the difference that hybrid and agile has. And now I'm all over it. I think it's the way to go, so that you have more engagement from your team. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I know you personally. You have worked in throughout your career in the predictive environment. So, how do you feel with agile right now? Making the people self-organized and giving everything to people. How do you feel this kind of working?
I think it will be a fantastic way and a fantastic methodology for me to incorporate in the projects that I use, because teams and staff or volunteers will be more engaged when they have something to do and they're able to contribute their strengths to it, rather than them being appointed or controlled, right? Told what to do. Nobody likes that. And so I'm really excited to add those tools to my toolkit. Yeah.
Perfect, Carrie. And next question. So, just now you informed you had a very strict deadline for the PMP exam, right? While you're preparing, how did you keep yourself motivated? That's very important, right?
Well, yeah, the first thing was the time crunch, right? But I'm also a procrastinator, and I haven't been in school for 30 years, since university, right? So it was very challenging for me. So the first thing was I needed to commit the time. And the first thing you asked me, because you're my mentor and my coach, and also Taiwo, but it was, how much time do you have in a day to commit to this? And I'm like, in a day? Okay. So I really had to think about it, because I knew I was traveling a lot for other things and projects and what have you. So I needed to commit. And usually when I commit, I do it. But then the best part was the accountability back to my coaches, right? Because that, for me, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it. And that being have to come back and then have to come up with an excuse if I miss the deadline, that really hurt me, right? And that hurt my integrity, my self-integrity, right? And so I really, that was really key. And I think if it was a different kind of a program or some kind of asynchronous, self-paced, I did that part, I might not have made the deadline. So, and of course, the content that EduHubSpot has with the videos and the mock tests. Those were all fabulous pieces that contributed to my success as well, because so different than just reading and reading and reading articles, which I wouldn't have been prepared for. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
So this means the deadline which have given you created a sense of urgency. It worked out.
The urgency. Yes.
Good. So next question. So how do you plan to use this PMP certification in your professional life? So what next? What next you are going to do?
Well, what next? I'm going to, apply to be part of some projects at the work, right, and implement some of those tools and contribute some of my knowledge and expertise that I've gained, because I know just because I have the PMP certification doesn't mean that the company is going to be jumping all over me to fill project manager positions, right, or to give
Very
me
true.
those projects. And so I need to slowly help expose people to the knowledge that I have, and they need to see value in me as a project manager or as a person, a part of a project. So I have a lot of that kind of work to do right now, kind of like self-promoting myself, right? That I have the expertise that's needed, and I'll be of value to the team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, Carrie. That's great. Really inspiring. And can you talk something about the exam? I think you don't want to reveal any questions. Just give me some
No.
propositions, like how, in which agile, hybrid, or predictive you got more questions, and how was the questions? The scenario based or theoretical based, something like that.
Oh, well, the exam for me was, from my exam was totally like scenario based. I felt that it was more hybrid compared to predictive. And so hybrid and agile, of course, because it's a combination. But the scenario based questions, it's very difficult to be sitting in that kind of questions for a long time. And I found that very difficult. So I learned a lot about my own personal fatigue level through EduHubSpot, right? When do my brain crap out and I need a break, right? And so I would recommend that people take the break. Don't go barrel through, right? And also, when you have an opportunity to take the mock tests, do that, because that will help you learn your own personal pacing. Where are your fatigue points, like I did? And I knew when I got to question 60 on the exam, I would be fatigued and would need a break, right? Because I've had that experience and confidence in writing. So for me, the exam was long. It was scenario based, if this, then that. Well, now let's incorporate risk, change, and it was all applying your knowledge of concepts of the different life cycle models. So really need to know the basics and get those concepts down so that you can say, yeah, when if scope is not clear, guess what? It's probably agile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, Gary. And your answer has given a lot of insights to the people who thinks like PMP exam is about memorizing PMBOK. Yeah, so it's not about memorizing PMBOK, it's about understanding the concepts, right?
Yeah, I did not. I opened PMBOK 7. I looked up a chart on the different types of organizations, but I didn't read it.
That I know. You have just stick to our simulator. That I know. Last question. Your experience with EduHubSpot.
I love EduHubSpot. I think that it's a fantastic organization. Definitely, I could not have been prepared for my PMP exam without EduHubSpot. Through the interaction with mentors and coaches, the live boot camp and the time commitment for that, all the learnings, the video lectures that I could do on my own time. It just fit my schedule, fit my need for speed and to get in the time crunch I had. And the people were just so accommodating and just caring, and that's really key. So I can't say enough about EduHubSpot. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carrie. You know what? I'm 10 times motivated now. Thank you so much for telling this. Yeah. So so we came to end of our interview, and thanks for answering all the questions which I asked. But the interview is not over. So I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. I want you to answer in just one word. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's get started. If there was a second life, you would love to come back as a man or woman.
Woman.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm going to leave this world a better place, and it'll be more equitable for everybody. And so women will have a better go around next time.
Agreed. Agreed. What's a guilty pleasure?
Cookies.
Cookies. You wanted to lose weight, and
Yeah,
you eat
yeah,
more
yeah.
cookies. Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Good. A habit you would love to give up.
Cookies.
Cookies. Good. A language you would love to learn.
I'd like to learn Spanish.
Reason? Any specific reason?
I think I've been to Spain and Mexico and other countries. I'm not able to communicate. I know French and I speak English, and so Spanish would be my next language I'd like to learn. Yeah.
That's great. A celebrity you would love to date.
8. I don't know. Batwoman. I'm not sure. You know,
Okay,
can a married person say that
no,
on live
it's
TV?
better not to say. Your role model.
You know, it's so funny. This is an interesting question. So for me, a role model is anyone who, I guess I would say an achiever. That's my one word. And so that's someone who overcomes their challenges with respect for others and self-awareness to achieve their goals. So for me, that's an achiever. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You're not telling a guy or you're not telling a person. You mean to say that a character you're telling. That's great, Carrie. That's great. I just loved your answer, to be honest. Yeah, that's it. We came to the end of our interview, Carrie. Thank you so much for taking time and sharing your experience. I really had a good time in this 15 minutes. I hope you enjoyed as well. And all the very best for your career and all the very best for all your future endeavors. Thank you so much for accepting this interview.
You're welcome. Thank you, Gotham.
Yeah, bye.